is the Amazing HD playlist, and I'm just so hyped. And forever. I might end this like sooner, like, cause I kind of want to have full screen of Kona, but
Carl Faubert sought information for a living. That is to say that ever since he returned from Korea, after having served with the armed forces, he had been working as a private investigator in Montreal. William Hamilton, a rich industrialist, had gotten in touch with him regarding a simple vandalism issue. Nothing to write home about. Not worth hiring a private eye either, just so he can drive for hours on rough roads. But that's how it had always been. The client pays, Carl gets it done. They had set up to meet at the general store, his client's business. Well, actually, the entire village had William Hamilton's name written all over it.
so you press X on PlayStation 4, possibly A on Xbox One. But
when the roads were bad, muddy, or snowed in, it was customary around these parts to close them off. But it was also customary to ignore those signs entirely and drive there anyway.
There's my feet, apparently. R1. Let's do jump.
Hamilton never mentioned a road blocking barrier. Why was it needed here in the back of Beyond? That would, however, be a mystery for another day. Carl had waited long enough for someone to come and raise it. Still not a soul in sight. There was no point in waiting any longer. Carl had to figure this one out by himself.
You hold down the left joystick to sprint or run. I think this is sprinting, but I'm gonna check up here for something to cut it. Oh, and it's right there. Go down and go cut this.
Hamilton is waiting for Carl in the general store. It was time for him to get down to business. William Hamilton enjoyed a lavish country house built in the very heart of the northern forests, not too far from here. Now wasn't a good time to wander about. Hamilton was still out there. The local populace was divided when it came to the affluent man. Some saw a wealthy philanthropist dedicated to improving the region's economy. Others an aging Englishman who would do anything to further his fortunes. And those ones hated him enough to go on about scheming against him. Hamilton had recently acquired a few local businesses, but the last straw was the reopening of a mine, which gave rise to a wave of protests and threats from the Cree people. Given these circumstances, Carl reckoned that a good number of people must be feeling compelled to oppose Hamilton in one way or another. So far, only the industrialist's house had been a target, but soon enough, Carl thought, the target
few hours later. It's really cold in my house.
Would become the man himself. Carl needed to get out of there. The cold and the pain required urgent care.
How? My question is, how does it get that like snowy in a couple of... What about Kona? If you're doubting about the game, those guys are true.
Scratches did not stop Carl. His mother would be so proud. Even better than he had hoped. Carl Faubert had succeeded once more, and was now on his way to new adventures. Carl wondered how long he would have to endure this skin-stinging cold. The driver had taken off. It was still best to check it out and leave nothing to chance. Carl needed help. It was a small, locked box engraved with the letters W.H. Carl thought about taking it. It was to be left to chance.
So, to be honest, I can check the trunk.
to stay focused on the task at hand. Now wasn't a good time to wander about. Hamilton was still out there, spread out on a few acres of untouched forest, bellowing caribou, everlasting snow, and undefiled lakes. The Manistan region was no tourist hub. It was said to have been populated for millennia by Cree people, and ever since the industrial era, by the metal mining industry. The truck was running on fumes. Good thing that the general store was close by.
Don't know what's happening.
Something fell to the bottom of the box. Carl had no trouble recognizing his employer. He had been killed. There was no need to be a detective to figure that out. But only a detective could have noticed that the killer had to have been very close, that the fatal blow had been given before the victim even realized. Maintaining his composure, Carl recalled something from his military training. Wolves always stay away from populated areas. Wait, was it about bears? Carl, ever diligent in his work, always carried his log on him, in which he scribbled down thoughts and leads alike during the course of his investigations. The pumps wouldn't surrender their divine nectar so easily. In all likelihood, they had to be switched on from inside the store. An explosion suddenly occurred outside.
Sorry for not talking much. I just like into the thing. I just into the game.
Carl was no electrician, but he could identify a wiring problem when he saw one. Carl was no electrician, but he could identify a wiring problem when he saw one.
I'm playing Kona.
Carl felt a chill down his spine and had a terrifying realization. If Hamilton was dead, then who was going to pay him? According to that log, it seemed like the whole village owed some money to the general store. Carl was far more interested in the bunch of nearby addresses he had just gotten his hands on, though. The snowstorm pummeled everything in its path. Carl was not surprised when he heard no tone. Carl knew that Gilles Lachance was in charge of the general store. That made him one of Hamilton's employees. A very angry employee, as Carl could plainly see. Carl was no electrician, but he could identify a wiring problem when he saw one. A radiator without power is as good as a wood stove without logs.
So yeah, honestly, no. I like the game, to be honest. I do. It's a pretty fun game. Time to fix the generator.
pumps wouldn't surrender their divine nectar so easily. In all likelihood, they had to be switched on from inside the store. The note explained that the garage and the store couldn't be supplied with electricity at the same time. The note explained that the garage and the store couldn't be supplied with electricity at the same time.
Also mad. See if the power can is back on. That looks like a gas tank.
The milkman had to drive by every week to fill the bottles. The fresh milk indicated a recent visit.
Ah. Now we're gonna need this. That. I can get this nectar.
Carl knew straight away where to find the infuriated Gilles Lachance. Any good investigation would have to start there. There should be a law forbidding doctors from falling sick. Great care had to be taken searching this place full of oddities. Everything was important. The decor itself told a story.
Stupid lag. Turn up here. Now I'm looking for. There's just one house that I can stop by. Oh no, I'm checking like every place because I'm trying to find a snowmobile.
Oh, mon bonhomme.
Spears wasn't joking. Not Spears. Spears is a YouTuber I watch.
Prends-la, je m'en fous. Perds ton temps dans mes déchets tant que tu rapportes du caribou. Je m'attendais pas à ce qu'à l'instant leur compte disparaisse. Moi, je prends plus de chance depuis ça.
Scared me so. This is one of the houses. Another house that has a snowmobile on it. That's the house we need to work around. There's a fencing.
There was so much in this cabin to enrich body and mind. Right. Carl couldn't leave empty-handed.
I believe it's the last one. The other at the end. So, but I'm gonna check this one just to make sure. Sorry guys, I'm just so used to like driving fast. So I'm gonna go check them out now. Head this way. I don't know. Lock. And there's the snowmobile. Boom. Truck. Seats all the way over here.
Weird stuff. Kind of a crossing between a colander and a hairdryer. What was it for? To play telepath? To protect against nuclear waves? The man seemed petrified in ice. What Carl saw terrified him, and he didn't know if it was the fear or the cold that was responsible for his hair standing on end all over his body. The poor man, before being frozen solid, seemed to be defending the entrance to his cabin. But from what? The week of October 5th, thought Carl. That was this week. The plug should have been here by now.
Handlebars. We'll need an empty gas can. Where am I supposed to find one?
Perhaps someone was expecting an important call. In any case, that person's in for a long wait. Carl already noticed that telephone services weren't provided in this area.
spark plug, I believe.
Carl hadn't lived up to his good finder reputation. He still hadn't found any of the wealth contained in Lamotte's lands. Carl had a hunch that there had got to be a plan somewhere that could help him put this thing back together. Carl had a hunch that there had got to be a plan somewhere that could help him put this thing back together. Carl wondered how long he would have to endure this skin-stinging cold. Roswell, Atamipek, same story. Large deserts conducive to extravagant follies. By following the plan, Carl was led to believe that the snowmobile's parts had to be scattered about in the vicinity. A bit of gas, a new spark plug, and a key. And this thing would run perfectly. All he needed to do now was to find all. The very first steps of man on the moon were made more than a year ago. The event had surely captivated the mechanic's mind for him to still keep this around. Carl deducted this was a map of the area. Were those pins pointing to places of interest? Carl deducted this was a map of the area. Were those pins pointing to places of interest?
So, I think I'm gonna be ending it here. So, hope you enjoyed it for now, and see you next time. I'll be working on the snowmobile off camera, so I'll be working on the snow. Thanks. If you could subscribe, that would be nice if you want. I'm not forcing you, but if you want to see more, get this up to like 2 likes. If it gets 2 likes, I do my next gameplay soon, between the next week. So enjoy it, and peace out.